Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Izandana binti Hizman with matric number 2016646.
My name is Nur Syafiqah binti Yusri, matric number 2011048.
My name is Nur Anisusna binti Muhammad Anwar, matric number 2013006.
My name is Nur Idrisulina binti Muhammad Nazri. My matric number is 2015890.
My name is Nur Hakira binti Suhaimi and my matric number is 2013192.
Nowadays, in this technology era, the fallacious arguments among society increasing day by day, especially in social media like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The fallacious argument not only used by ordinary people, but many politicians as well. Besides, there are many types of fallacious argument, which is the fallacies. The fallacies are defects that only weaken the arguments. In this video, we are going to talk about the rise of fallacious arguments in using a logical thinking on human behavior. Actually, these fallacies are statements that might sound reasonable or superficially true, but are actually flawed. So, there are a few objectives of why we should concern about the rise of fallacious argument in logical thinking on human behavior, which is one of the social phenomenon at this time. First of all, we have to understand what is the definition of fallacious argument, the definition of logical thinking, and also the definition of human behavior. We really need to understand this concept because sometimes the meaning could be similar. Second, we have to clarify the examples of the social phenomenon supported with the evidence. The last one is we have to identify what is the causes, what the negative impact, and also what the effective solution on the social phenomenon at this time.
Now I will talk about the definition of the important key concept of our social phenomenon, which is fallacious argument in using logical thinking on human behavior. So first, the definition of fallacious. A fallacy is the use of invalid or otherwise faulty logic in the making of an argument. The fallacy may be formal or informal. Next, the definition of argument is a form of expression such as claims, statements, conversation, dialogue, and opinions. There are two types of argument, which is deductive and inductive arguments. Next, the definition of fallacious argument. It is an argument that often tricks human reasoning but is not logically true. Next, the definition of logical thinking is the method in which one consistently uses logic to come up with a conclusion. It means logical thinkers observe and evaluate phenomena, behavior, feedback, and then draw conclusions based on those facts. Next, the definition of human behavior. It is the potential of human to respond to external and internal stimuli throughout their life. Besides, human behavior falls within a range with some behavior being normal, some uncommon, some acceptable, and some outside acceptable limits.
So I will continue on the observation on social phenomenon. Normally, the behavior of human is we always share some things like issues, action, videos in the social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Usually, the netizens will state their arguments by filling up in the comment parts. From here, lots of fallacious arguments being emerged from them. Netizens are making fallacies in their arguments about some of the issues which could spark into the controversy. Mostly, influencers will be attacked by the netizens. It happens when they come to state the fallacious arguments that based on their observations toward the issues. For evidence, Ustad Abid Liu. Ustad Abid Liu is known as a helper person. This is because he always give a hand to help others in need, and the squad will share the pictures, the videos in the social media. The controversy emerged from the proof that posted in social media. Netizens are saying and questioning on the behavior of Ustad Abid Liu when Ustad giving the help to the people. So we can have a look on the first argument and first statement is on camera. There are one citizen is questions on where Ustad Abid got the money and why the camera is following him. So it shows that this guy didn't use their logical thinking or deeply thinking in before he released the statement. The second evidence is about Hafiz Muhammad. Hafiz Muhammad is one of the famous influencers in Malaysia. He liked to post any contents in his social media. On 9 March 2020, he had posted his result SPM in Facebook with the joking caption until he got the criticism by netizens. Actually, he shows the result is not very good, and he said that it is okay to fail your SPM, something like that. So from this, one netizen lawyer, namely Mufarwa Farid, said that Hafiz Muhammad think that Hafiz Muhammad said the SPM is not important, but the truth is Hafiz Muhammad wanna say like if you fail doesn't mean you will remain failed. So from here we know that they have a misunderstanding.
The impact of this social phenomenon, if left unsolved, is first, it will affect relationship between communities for not trust and hate on each other. Second, it will cause misunderstanding among the community, and lastly, it can lead to prejudice or stereotypes.
Problem analysis has searched some of the articles to get the information about this phenomenon, and this action can make us easily analyze this problem. Let me talk about this phenomenon based on one article that we analyzed. It is about the rise of the fallacious arguments, which is regardless of whether the claim we make is true or false. We might use reasons that either do not logically support that claim or are not logically supported themselves. While politics, law, and the media are notorious for these traits, fallacies are an everyday occurrence in society and are often committed unintentionally. This article can be as a reference for us to get many more information about this phenomenon. We also searched about the factors of why this phenomenon happen, and we get 5 causes of the phenomenon. The first one is the people are inability to use their akal or logical thinking on the analysis problem. Sometimes it will make people choose the wrong sides and the wrong decisions. The second one is people are easily to get jealous with other person. This is because people are hard to feel thankful for what we have in this world. The third one is people like to make their own assumptions toward each other. This will make us being unharmoniously in our country. The fourth one is people always think negatively about others, although they actually don't know the truth. The last factor is lack of knowledge. As we know, knowledge are very important in our life. And one factor which is the factor that we want to solve is the people are inability to use their akal or logical thinking on the analysis issue. We choose this factor because we can get many ways to solve this problem. Can you imagine if someone make a decision without using their akal or logical thinking? Maybe the decisions will give a bad effect that can cause her or himself and the surroundings. And although in every situation we need to use our akal and logical thinking to make better results and quality results.
An effective solution to solve the problem, which is people are inability to use their akal or logical thinking on the analytic issue, is developing the habit of questioning, which means whatever information they have collected, whether facts and figures or simply assumptions, verify it all. Check the sources of information and investigate every piece of information that they find even slightly questionable. They also must check everything for the authenticity before they begin to evaluate the worth of any such information they have gathered. In Quran, Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Hujurat verse 6, "Believers, if any evildoer comes to you with a piece of news, make sure of it first, lest you should wrong others unwittingly and then regret your action." This verse also explains that we need to tabayun on the information that we get before we spread to others. So, how the solution can be implemented? First, we create an awareness through social media about developing the habit of questioning before begin to evaluate the worth of any such information, which means we create a poster and then spread it to the social media. Second one, the universities can propose questioning skills and techniques in subject or course that related to thinking for students to enhance their logical thinking on the analysis issue.
In conclusion, we acknowledge that this social phenomenon, namely the rise of fallacious argument, just give negative impact to society. Therefore, we should not normalize the logical fallacies because it can often be used to mislead people. Not only that, we must use our akal or logical thinking before we speak, before we read or write, in order to not influence to fallacious arguments. I think that's all from us. Thank you.